Are you guys ready for another season of the Battlebots pregame show? Because Macho is, Kristen is, and Amber is. We are ready for some Battlebots robot on robot, sparks flying, flames going, parts flying action. We are ready. It has been an entire year since the last official Battlebots pregame show. I know we did a little golden bolt, a little appetizer, so to speak. But now here is the main course, baby, and we are ready. Macho's been preparing all year, baby. It may not look like it because the assets are all the same, but you know who has been preparing is the Battlebots show. There are a lot of rule changes this year. And honestly, Macho's excited about them. Maybe it will make it so Macho doesn't lose his goddamn mind every single week. Macho's big, rough, oily brain can only take so much Battlebot atrocity judges before Macho loses it. 8 new rules that we're gonna go over here real quick. Rule number 1. There is a match steward that is being added as an intermediary between the teams and the judges. Hopefully to decipher what crazy-ass ruling that the teams made, or not the teams, the judges made, so the teams are not left in the dark. So basically, a person that goes up to the judges goes like, yo, bunch of 3 jabronis, what are you doing? Why don't you put that in plain English so these people can understand? That's basically what the match steward is. Rule number 2, match appeals. I'm excited for this one, Kristen. Match appeals. So, do you think that judge's decision made 0 sense? I'm looking at you, Lisa. I'm looking at you, Lisa. You can now challenge a ruling on if it was a judge's decision. But if you lose the appeal, you lose it for the rest of the tournament. But if you win, then you can keep doing them. So think of this as a coach's challenge, like a football when you go to the replay. They will confer and decide whether or not to rescore a match. This also may be delayed due to matches being done quickly and we'll have to wait for a break. Rule number 3. Kristen, do you want to read rule number 3 for me?
Sure. So they have changed the count amount of certain things. So pinning is now 10 counts, not 10 seconds, 10 counts. So, you know, like when the ref starts their counts. Lifting, you can only do for 20 counts. Also counts if like one of the mini bots gets underneath a bot, they can only do that for 20 counts. And then they have to, you know, back off. Grappling, now only 20 counts. Used to be 30. So that, and then if any robot does not deliberately stop after the ref is like, you know, I've done my count, then they can disqualify them.
What's the difference between grappling and like lifting? They sound pretty.
That's a good
like
question, Amber.
Munching on them.
Yeah, grappling is when you're latched onto each other and you're both like they're pushing each other basically.
Okay.
And pinning
would be like what P1 would do, like how P1 kind of like goes up under people and like lifts them up, or any of the mini bots that kind of wedge underneath.
Okay, so pinning is only against the wall. That's pinning. Grappling is basically the same thing, but it's outside of the wall, if that makes sense. Rule number 4, the one that Macho is the most excited about, is crab walking. Finally, the rule has changed. So basically, if there is any sort of movement, no matter how uncontrolled or circular or crab walking it is, it will no longer be counted out. So if there is any sort of response at all, the bot will not be counted out. It is no more a controlled movement, no more judgment calls or bias for that one bot. What's that one bot that they're always biased towards? It starts with H. It doesn't matter what your first name is. If a bot is non-responsive, the ref will do a 20 count. And if it cannot move by the end of the count, the bot is incapacitated. Refs also have the option of canceling the count out quickly. If they deem that the bot is no way, shape, or form going to show any movement.
That kind of gives them too much freedom, which I do not like.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah,
but I think that's there.
Gonna come up as...
I think that's there for like if something like Ghost Raptor happens when the bot is literally in like 5 pieces on the ground. We don't need a 20 count. You know that bot's not going to move. You know.
Very true.
All right, so Kristen, why don't you read rule number 5, another big one?
Yeah, so this is a huge one that caused a lot of controversy last year, is unsticks. So obviously that match against Witch Doctor and Minotaur, where they unstuck the two. Why, we don't know, but they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Witch Doctor unstuck. We're gonna stop the match, unstick Witch Doctor. And so then Minotaur lost the fight, whatever. But now robots that are stuck by themselves will be in a 20 count. Again, this is all in counts, not seconds. So don't be like looking at the clock, look at the ref. If they are still stuck, the match is over. So they don't get unstuck, which is nice. But if 2 robots get stuck by themselves, the match is also over and will be decided by the judges.
The most important part is that if a bot gets stuck by themselves, Witch Doctor, the match is over. The match is over. If they can't get unstuck the wall, there's no fucking jabroni that's gonna come in there and unstick them from the wall. I'm gonna read the next 2 because they're really quick. Rule 6, post-match functionality. If a match has ended, the teams can decide to show the judges how functional their bots are after the match to have them help their score. That is an option, they don't have to. And another a small rule, but honestly a good change, is there's no LiPo batteries in mini-bots, thank God. Now this makes mini-bots way less effective because LiPo batteries are the norm, but LiPo fires are very toxic, very hot, and very dangerous. So there will only be I believe it's nickel cadmium batteries, which will slowly degrade instead of a sharp drop-off like LiPo does. So LiPo, you get the same amount of power the whole time, right up until it runs out. Nickel cadmium is the opposite. It's like a steady decline. So mini-bots will be way worse. Kristen, why don't you read the last one?
All right, this last one is, it's named after like some, it's like, I can't say that.
It doesn't matter what the bot's name is!
It's that bot. It's that bot's rule. But anyways, from now on, if you stand in the middle of the box like a jabroni, as Macho would put it, is not considered aggression and it will be counted against you. So if you're a little baby and you sit in the middle and you wait for someone to come to you, a little baby man, and you just wait for your opponent to come try and hit you and then you attack, you actually will lose points in the eyes of the judges if they're being moral and following this. So that's great. And then also if a bot can use their weapon more effectively than the other, so one, use it, and then also use it effectively, they will be awarded more control points.
There will no longer be fucking jabronis. Oh, Macho, sorry for this swearing, but that will just sit there and not use their goddamn weapon. It's over. Disgusting.
Did you just apologize for swearing? This is not a family show. We're allowed to here. This isn't Discovery Plus. You're gonna host it like me?
Let's get straight into the fights. So we got Witch Doctor over by Macho. Gross, I hate it. And the beautiful froggy little boy of Ribot over by Kristen. Kristen, why don't you talk about the first matchup of this season? Who do you think's going to win and why? We'll go Kristen, Amber, and then Macho.
So great match to start us off. Anyways, we don't like Witch Doctor here. They are phonies. The hype around them makes no sense because they always suck and there's weird bias. But anyways, I see Witch Doctor has still stuck to their guns of not putting forks or anything else on their bot because they believe in the purity of the sport, I believe is how they put it. I think Ribot is going to use that to their advantage because they refuse to conform. Sometimes change is necessary and good, and Witch Doctor won't recognize that. Whatever. But Ribot is gonna, I think they're gonna come out with a box rush attack and just go for it. Witch Doctor tends to fall apart when they get head on a couple times. So Ribot's gonna do that and just do little jumpies all over the place and kill him. I think the hype around Witch Doctor, I don't get it anymore, and it needs to just die.
Strong words coming from Kristen. Witch Doctor dead, buried in the grave already.
Back to Florida you go.
Amber, why don't you talk about this BattleBot match?
Well, I think it's like, once again, I'm rooting for Ribot, but I think it's gonna be a difficult fight. Because again, Witch Doctor had an amazing season last time. Essentially, they got to the finals, but they lost to Tantrum, and then in the Battlebots Champions, they made it to the final, where they lost to Endgame. So like, Witch Doctor has obviously been putting in the work, but Witch Doctor's Witch Doctor, Ribot's Ribot, and Ribot is a frog.
Yes.
So that's why I'm going with Ribot.
Ah, Witch Doctor, the perennial disappointment of the BattleBots field. You know what? Macho is tired of Witch Doctor, but Macho is not tired of Witch Doctor constantly proving right as they have fallen short each and every year. Now, every bot proves Macho right, because Macho is never wrong, and he knows everything and can see into the future. Just like the Buffalo Bills in the 90s, they get so close, but can't quite get over the hump. But unlike the Bills, they never got a rule made up for them to win a game, which actually might make them more like the New England Patriots now Macho thinks about it, because that is the only reason that Witch Doctor advanced into the Final Four, was because of the egregious separation from the wall. Separation from the wall is the tuck rule of BattleBots. You can never discredit that from me at all. Now, they go against Ribot today, who may be the biggest humble braggers Macho has ever seen, aside from himself, of course. And Ribot is going to come out with forks, get under Witch Doctor, and kick that cosplaying jabroni team to the curb where it belongs. All right, now we got Captain Shredderator, the most unreliable bot BattleBots has ever seen, in not a new bot, but a bot back from years of not being at BattleBots, Quantum. Kristen, why don't you take it away? Who's going to win this match and why?
Quantum is back. A lot of you, this will be your first time seeing Quantum, so that's exciting. So they're a crusher bot, which is something that Kraken kind of aspired to be, but didn't really successfully do that much. But Quantum has actually had some KO wins in the past. They've knocked out Valkyrie and Blacksmith, both of which we've seen, and they are pretty powerful bots, so I am impressed by that. And Captain Shredderator is just garbage. He's coming into the match as the underdog, as always, and just year after year he comes out with the same design and it doesn't work, and then he changes like one thing and it still doesn't work. So I will drop dead probably if he comes out with like a completely different design. I don't think he is. Captain Shredderator, just no, they need to retire at this point.
All right, Amber, who do you think's gonna win this one?
Honestly, I'm not really familiar with Quantum because like I once again, before I started watching BattleBots, I'm not familiar with Quantum. I'm also familiar with Captain Shredder. And now whenever I watch Captain Shredder, it's always funny. So
that's true.
I like funny
I will
things.
give Captain Shredder that. It is always funny when they're in.
It's always fun. Like no matter what happens, it's just fun. It's just a fun time.
I mean, he's definitely there for a fun time.
Once again, between my lack of knowledge of Quantum and my desire for fun, I'm going Captain.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Captain.
Interesting.
Oh my
goodness. I'm here for fun. I'm here for fun.
Yeah.
I lack logic.
Now, Kristen, we know that, we obviously respect our guests' opinions, even if they're clearly incorrect. So let's give Amber.
Horribly wrong.
It's okay. Let's give Amber her.
I'm here to have a good time. I'm here for fun.
Put an F in the chat for Amber.
I'm not. Yeah, insult me, my brilliant.
Quantum is back after a few years away from the BattleBots competition. Now, if you enhance this image, hacking noises. You guys hear them? Matrix code in front of the eyes. Enhance again. You can actually see that Quantum's beak is quite similar to an animal skull. Now, what they did was they gave an AI some parameters and they let it design the strongest shape that it possibly could, which just happened to look like a animal skull. Pretty cool AI tech, and used in an ethical way to create something unique. Pretty wild that you can use AI in an ethical way that doesn't straight up steal from artists without their consent to make something that is claimed to be original and not infringing on artists' TOS. Wow, pretty wild, right? Now, unlike AI art, Quantum can exist on its own without stealing original parts from other teams. But it is going against Shredderator, which currently holds the record for the most unreliable bot of all time. Macho has zero faith in him, just like Macho has zero faith in the AI art community to have a single brain cell. Quantum is going to use its ethically made AI beak to clamp down on the weak top of Captain Shredderator and take the victory home today. So Kristen and I going with the correct answer in Quantum. Amber going with Captain Shredderator for some reason, but you know.
Yeah, God knows why. God knows why Amber's doing that.
Yeah,
She's
we'll let
her.
We'll let her cook.
Wild card.
Let her cook.
There
Let
she
her
goes.
cook. We got Gruff over here, which claims to have flamethrowers as its weapon. And then we have the crazy brand new bot, Ripperoni, over by Kristen. What are you thinking about this match?
So this match, I think, is going to come down to how much punch is packed into that little pizza spinner, because we don't really know. We have not seen Ripperoni before, and they could come out like some rookies we've seen, like Glitch, and like just blow us out of the park, their powerful spinner, or they could come out like Dragon Slayer and have basically a paper windmill for a spinner. So I really think that's going to sway the whole course of this match, because Gruff, obviously has no weapon. Cannot convince me otherwise. Flame is not a real weapon. Comes to BattleBots. You can hurt me with flames, but you cannot hurt a BattleBot with flames. They're hoping Ripperoni comes out with crappy spinner, but we just don't know. For funsies, gonna go with Gruff, even though I don't like him. We have to let Ripperoni prove themselves first. So I can't put my confidence
What
in
has Gruff proven to you?
They've won a couple matches.
What? Which ones, Kristen? Which ones?
They have,
One and 3 last season.
Yeah, name one. Don't look it up. Name one match that Gruff won.
They have beat Tantrum in the past.
All right.
Look, I'm trying to keep things spicy here. Oh,
Right. Because you make fun of me for picking Captain Shredder, but here you are picking. Wow.
yeah,
Disgusting.
yeah.
Disgusting.
We'll see.
Um,
We'll see how it plays out.
Keep an eye out
We'll see.
on Twitter.
I
I will be looking for a new co-host. If you guys are Amber, what are your thoughts on this match?
I have no faith in Gruff. Yeah.
Fair.
I'm actually excited for Ripperoni because I was looking at, they have there's different weight classes BattleBots. I think the lower weight class bot actually did really well, and so I kind of believe in their team. And also last season I kind of like discounts like new people, like I just kind of believe in Glitch, but they proved awesome, and so I want to give them the newcomer, the new pizza on the block.
Now, Ripperoni is quite frankly a bot that Macho has ever seen before, as it's quite literally a two Frankenstein job, and it looks like two bots smashed together, as it's hard to tell on the picture that I have, but on the other side, there's a completely different sized wheel. How does it even move straight with two different sized wheels? Like, they have to adjust the gearing in it. Boggles Macho's mind. But what isn't a half-ass job is the freakishly huge 70-pound pepperoni spinner of death. But if you look closely, if you enhance the image again, matrix code, enhance. You can see that little pizza cutter. Now that isn't just for display, yeah. Not just for display, for looks, yeah. In fact, inside that pizza cutter is a spinner, enclosed spinner, that is going the opposite direction to counteract the pepperoni forces of a 70-pound spinner, yeah. That will keep that bot planted to the ground like downforce, like a huge wing does on a Formula 1 car. This will keep it going. It will keep it on the ground, as when Macho looked at it, it looked like it was just gonna straight up flip over. Now, its opponent over by me, Gross, is obviously a jabroni. And we all know Gruff is a jabroni. And you know what rhymes with Jefferoni? Jabroni? Ripperoni. That's what rhymes. And guess what, Gruff? Ripperoni is a stone-baked pizza. You know what they use to cook those? Fire. Ripperoni is Gruff's opposite and will come away with a delicious stone-baked pizza victory. Now, we have our first truly awkward and weird match. Is Shatter over by Macho and Huge over by Kristen. Kristen, what do you think is going to happen in this wild match?
We love a wild match. This one's definitely going to be fun to watch. Always one of my favorites is when they just put giant craziness against giant craziness, which is what this is. Both teams have interesting driving mechanisms and they both maneuver their bots really well. So Shatter has like a massive freaking hammer and they're able to keep it facing their opponent at all times because of their omnidirectional wheels. But I feel like against Huge, that's a disadvantage because of Huge's massive, powerful bar spinner. So I'm thinking Shatter might have to come up with a different approach to this match because hitting Huge head on, I think will just rip that hammer right off, send them flying. God only knows what's going to happen. But you know what? I'm putting my money on Huge tonight. I'm hopeful for them. They're going to have a good year, finally. They deserve it. And Shatter's going to lose.
Kristen going with Huge. Amber, who you going with? I think we all know who Amber's going to go with.
These are like my two favorite bots. Like, I love these bots. Shatter I love their tech. Omnidirectional wheels are they're so awesome. It's the giant hammer bot. So much fun. And Huge is just huge.
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 Also, I think it's actually interesting because once again, as Kristen said, the way the tacticalness, it's kind of depend on what Shatter does. Because Shatter can't really tackle the sides of Huge because I'm assuming Huge can might go with their flexible wheels, which will deflect hopefully some of those oncoming hammer strikes. So once again, if they go my head-to-head, I think Huge gonna win, and that's why I'm gonna pick Huge. But also mainly because a big boss, big fun.
The way that we've seen to beat Huge is to hit that spinner straight on, as straight as you can. That is the only way to beat Huge. Can Shatter do that? Macho is doubtful that Shatter can do that. Huge is going to pick the pieces apart of Shatter. It might take a little bit longer than expected, as Huge is a little bit awkward on the maneuverability side. Not really bad maneuverability, but it looks weird. Now, Shatter is going to be driving circles around Huge. It's going to take a really big screw up from Shatter to get into that spinner, and then it's all over, baby. Huge with a big W. All right, now we got Glitch, the hero of Battlebots last year, and Riptide, another newcomer last year that was unbelievably good. So was Glitch. Ooh, this one's gonna be a doozy. Kristen, what do you think's gonna happen in this match and why?
This match is gonna be insane. Like, it's gonna be insane. Two rookie bots both came in last year. We had no idea what to expect, and they both just blew our minds with their beefy spinners. Both of them have really powerful spinners, so can anticipate some bots kind of flying around the box here, maybe. Both of them, one, who knows? Sparks will be flying, that is for sure. And I think it'll all come down to whoever can stay together longer, get the win. Glitch has had some trouble with their omnidirectional wheels in the past, so if that does happen, that might be their Achilles heel for this match, just because Riptide has such a powerful spinner to go up against. But it really could go either way. You know, I had a lot of time to think about this one, and I kept going back and forth. So for funsies, I'm going with Riptide.
Amber, who do you think's going to win this match, and why?
I mean, honestly, in terms of their past performance, they're pretty evenly matched. I think Glitch was like 7-1, Riptide was like 6-2. But Glitch did make it in the Battlebots champion to the quarterfinal for the Golden Bolt. So in terms of their positioning, Glitch has been pushing the numbers. Cause at first I kind of doubted Glitch last season, but I love Glitch. Glitch is one of my favorite bots, mostly because omnidirectional wheels. I love weird tech and bots. It is amazing. But it's been a year. They have more time to practice. And I think the biggest thing for omnidirectional wheels is having drivers and people who are experienced with those omnidirectional wheels. And they played amazing last season, and they had more time for practice, more time to prepare, more time to optimize and do better. So I'm thinking, with that enhanced abilities, I'm going with Glitch.
Macho and Glitch have a lot in common, as neither of them have ever lost. Glitch has never lost. The Golden Bowl tournament does not count. Glitch has never lost in a Battlebots competition. Yeah, just like Macho's never lost a day in his life. Yeah, Glitch came in as hot as asphalt on a drag strip in the summer last year, not losing a single match the entire time. Yeah, until it made it to the tournament, where sadly it was not ready at the allotted time, which makes sense, right? You have to be ready for your match at a certain time. Let me tell you this, Battlebots, I'm gonna get really close for this one. I swear on all that is holy, oily, and muscly, if you promote that championship bracket again, knowing full well that a bot will not be in it, Macho will hit you with an elbow drop so devastating that you will be buried as deep as Gandalf fell while fighting the Balrog in Lord of the Rings. Yeah! Glitch, of course, had the greatest upset in Battlebots history when it beat the, guys, can you help me? That bot's name?
I never get it out.
It
doesn't matter what your
that
name
bot's
is.
name is! With that out of the way, obviously Glitch with a huge upset potential. Riptide does have one of the most powerful vertical spinners in the entire field, yeah, but Glitch has proven time and time again that you could strap a big-ass spinner on a bot, tie a blindfold around your eyes, and meander around the battle box, not knowing what you're doing at all, backwards, drive into the spikes, drive into the walls, it doesn't matter. Eventually, by law of probability, you will get a hit, and that hit is all you need to send that jabroni flying into the stratosphere. Glitch, all the way, it has never lost, it never will. Glitch all the way to the Golden Bowl. Not the Golden Bowl, the Giant Nut. God damn it. We got Gigabyte over here. And the newly improved free shipping over by Kristen. Kristen, who do you think's gonna win this match? And why?
First, let's just take a second to look at free shipping. They're looking fresh with their new design. Looking good. I think that's as far as luck will take them, is looking good tonight. They do have a little vertical spinner this year, so that's interesting. They've got a new little weapon mechanism. A Gigabyte, if you guys have seen Gigabyte fight before, the man can take hits after hits after hits and then give them out and just keep going. And it's mind-blowing because we've never seen a full body spinner work so efficiently. It's crazy. So Gigabyte, obviously going with them. They're getting the win. There's no doubt here.
Nice. Going with Gigabyte. Amber, who you going with?
I think it's been another fun match. Because unfortunately, free shipping's main weapon is, the lifter, and that's like works bad against a full body spinner because I'm supposed to like lift it. But I'm going with Gigabyte. Once again, full body spinners always a fun time. Once again, there's like fights where like Gigabyte's been launched across the arena. It's been hilarious, and I love it every time.
Now, Gigabyte versus free shipping. Lots of bots have come in with different designs this year. Free shipping is one of them. Almost unrecognizable from its original forklift design, it is now sporting a vertical spinner. Yeah. Well, will it finally be able to land points in the damage category? Macho thinks so. But against Gigabyte, that's gonna be a tall order. Now, we've seen Gigabyte struggle against some vertical spinners in the past, but Macho knows that testing a new spinner against Gigabyte probably won't go very well. You gotta be on your game to go against the deadliest full body spinner in the field today. If Gigabyte can play its game and spin up, this will be a W for Gigabyte. But Gary Jin, he is no jabroni, right? He has a mullet. Macho rarely, if ever, calls someone with a mullet a jabroni. He's going to take that mullet energy and channel it into his bot and make sure that Gigabyte does not spin up. It's not going to be easy for Gigabyte, but all Gigabyte needs is that one hit. And we haven't seen new free shipping work, so Macho is going to give it to Gigabyte because Macho can see into the future, and all the free shipping he sees is Gigabyte throwing its pieces all across the battle box. Yeah, Gigabyte with a big victory. We are going on to the first main event of the season, and it is a doozy, brothers. Minotaur, over by Macho, and the defending champion, Tantrum, with its tiny little hands, over by Kristen. Kristen, who do you think is going to win this heavyweight bout for the ages?
It's hard to call, honestly, because Tantrum doesn't even remember what it feels like to lose. Like, they just don't know. And Minotaur, been a minute. They've had some time to kind of stew about everything that happened last season. But they've also had a lot of time to redesign and rework and refuel their absolute hunger for the giant nut. So, if we're going off of just sheer aggression and willpower, I'd have to go with Minotaur. Statistics and just recent matches, I'd have to go with Tantrum. But because I like spice in my life, and I used the Instagram filter, which BattleBot are you today? And it told me I was Minotaur. I have to go with Minotaur. Like, that's an omen.
Amber, who do you think's going to win this main event match?
Honestly, they're starting out with like this first night is like so many strong fights. This is gonna be an amazing fight. Both of them amazing hitters, hard hitters. Like, unfortunately, last season stuff happened in Minotaur, and stuff happened. Terrible. But unfortunately, I'm thinking the little hands will win. The little hands are gonna they got power. They got power in those fists.
Oh, baby,
So again,
again.
the little hands. Listen, if Tantrum can just one KO me with one punch, I'm sure.
True, you
Tantrum-
have felt the wrath yourself.
Yeah, I have been. Just then down for the count. Yeah, but honestly, Tantrum. I was like, pretty much all their fights have been like KOs, clean. Like a lot of fights were just really good, solid victories, and so that's why I'm saying the little bob, the little hands aren't going to have a big victory.
We're kicking off this season of main events with a doozy of a match. Two tough and decorated opponents are battling out, but only one victor can be crowned. Yeah, and this isn't the NFL, so there are no ties in BattleBots. Minotaur was robbed of a spot in the Final Four of one of the most unfair matches I've ever seen, which caused a rule change, just like the New England Patriots made up the Tuck rule so that they couldn't make it into the playoffs, advance to the next round of playoffs as well. Macho loves Minotaur, but Macho is going to have to go with the bot that has not lost. Tantrum keeps winning. Tantrum is Macho. It doesn't lose. Tantrum, in its tiny little hands, is going to somehow, some way, pull out a victory. It can take the hits. It can take hits over and over and over again, and it gets back up. It doesn't matter if that spinner breaks. It's going to keep going, right? What Tantrum lacks in power, it makes up for in precision. Like a skilled boxer, like Muhammad Ali, death by 1,000 cuts, right? He's not gonna knock you out like Mike Tyson. He's going to slowly whittle you down until you cannot go no more. And for that reason, in its tiny little hands, not Minotaur. Minotaur's going to lose. Tantrum is going to win this match. I appreciate you guys all staying and hanging out with us on the first episode of the season 3 of the BattleBots pregame show. It will be 13 more glorious weeks. Thank you all for coming. See you guys next week on the BattleBots pregame show.
Bye.
Bye.